And now we wait. I deserve better. This is not how you're supposed to drink cocktails. Little balls on the inside of my. One of you sent me this drink, and now it's all up at my feet. It's the Candy Cane Martini. Or is it the Sugar Cookie Martini? I'm seeing both of them. They are essentially the same drink, and neither of them are actually a martini. But it got me thinking, I can fix this cocktail. I did fix this cocktail. Now that might sound a little presumptuous, seeing that I haven't even tried the drink, but today I will. I'm gonna give it a fair chance. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion, and then I'm gonna show you my version, the grown-up version, the civilized version, which is better. And if it's not, I will eat my hat. So let's put this trendy cocktail to the test. To the bar. So let's see what everybody's raving about. I'm gonna start with the Candy Cane Martini. This is the one that was sent to me. Let's take a look. It's got this waterfall thing happening. This was put out by Frigidaire, by the way. Has 8.6 million views. Good marketing, I guess. They get you right away with this like wash of bright colors coming through this creamy looking cocktail. That's when I start, like as a bartender, I look at it and think, why would you drink this? Like, I get that it looks cool to like have these colors go down the side of the glass, but in order to do that, you have to use marshmallow fluff in this one, but other ones use vanilla frosting. And so the sprinkles dissolve and you get how that works, but you have to drink it through lumpy marshmallow fluff or frosting, and that doesn't sound appealing to me. But it is visually something. Now let's take a look at the Sugar Cookie. This is only gonna feed the algorithm. It's like, you really do like this, Anders. So here's one, 15.1 million views. But it's the same idea. It looks like exactly the same drink. The only thing is there's a liqueur swap. So instead of peppermint schnapps for the candy cane, it's amaretto for the sugar cookie. Which the amaretto, I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. It's a very creamy drink. There's a cream liqueur, in both of these, there's a cream liqueur plus cream added to it. So it's a very rich, dairy forward cocktail. Some of them, especially for the sugar cookie, there are ones that have frosting on the edge of the glass. It's eye-catching, it really is. But as somebody who enjoys drinking cocktails, I don't know that I'm gonna like having all of that on my glass. Yeah, I think clearly these are more about the visual effect than it is about the taste. But my approach with cocktails is taste first and foremost. So I'm hoping that this is gonna blow me away and it's gonna be an incredible tasting cocktail too. I'm gonna make both of these. I'm gonna do the two different garnishings. I'm gonna do the colorful waterfall as well as the cupcake looking poofy sticky one. Actually, I think they're both sticky. Okay, all right, I'm excited. Talk myself up here. Today's video is brought to you by Aura. If you're anything like me, your picture frames end up displaying the same photos forever. I don't know who changes their photos in the frames, but I like the idea. Aura Ink fixes this problem. Meet Ink, Aura's first ever cordless color e-paper frame. Featuring a sleek 0.6-inch profile and a softly lit 13.3-inch display, Ink feels like a print, functions like a digital frame, and perhaps most importantly, lives completely untethered by cords. With a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 3 months on a single charge, unlimited storage, and the ability to invite others to add photos via the Aura Frames app, it's the cordless wall-hanging frame you've been waiting for. I have mine set to change every night, so every morning I get to see a new picture. I've been rotating old travel pics and wedding photos, and since it's cordless, I can hang it just about anywhere. Just about anywhere. Don't put this in your shower or at the bottom of under your car. I will not place it there. It uses millions of tiny ink capsules to render photos in warm vintage tones, and you can hang it in portrait or landscape, and the soft light adjusts throughout the day and shuts off at night. So you're not having to deal with another glowing screen. Sleek, subtle, and stunning, Ink blends the warmth of a printed photo with the versatility of an e-paper frame, and it blends in with all my other artwork. No cords, no fuss, just your memories. Beautifully displayed wherever you want. Head to auraframes.com/ink to see for yourself and support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Thanks, Aura. On to the film. I don't have a very big martini glass. Some of the people have really big ones, but I think that this will get the job done. We're gonna make this to spec. So I've got to put the sprinkles on the glass, and for that we need marshmallow fluff, which is something I've never, not once, used in any of my cocktail making. I don't think I've ever purchased this in my life. All right, so I'm just, well, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty certain the sprinkles are gonna stick to this because it is like glue. Actually, it's kind of good. Now the sprinkles. In the video, they use red, white, and green. I could not find any. So I got Valentine sprinkles. We add some, whoa, okay, sprinkles into your glass. And then they took a plate. Oh, this is not working. I will say one thing, with the marshmallow fluff makes a sticky mess everywhere. I could try some more. Try it again. And then we just swirl it around, I think, like this. Look at that, on the inside. Hey, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna pop this in the freezer because that's what they did. I've seen a few different measurements on this, but I think the most common is all equal parts, which is a good starting point, especially because I've never tasted this before. So I'm gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of everything. Peppermint schnapps, I haven't had since my early 20s. It's a stronger peppermint liqueur. It's 100 proof. I did that intentionally because I thought maybe it needs to cut through all of that richness. I don't know if they double strain this one in the video, but I am going to. I'm gonna keep this classy. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. You can't tell from up here. Is it working?
Not yet.
No? And now we wait.
There it goes.
Really?
There it goes.
Oh, it's starting here. Oh, this is a much slower process than I thought it'd be. It's working though. There, once it gets going, I have to admit, it is kind of cool. I thought it was gonna be like immediately. Well, it looks like a candy cane. So here's the thing, I'm gonna go in for a sip. The main question is it good? You ask yourself, would I get a second one of these? My question is usually, would I have a third sip? Because almost any cocktail, I will have a second sip. It's that third sip. Here we go with the Candy Cane Martini. Does it taste good? Ready? That's not at all what I was expecting. It tastes like a candy cane. I think it was good that I'm using 100 proof peppermint schnapps to cut through that cream. It is rich, it kind of coats your mouth. What I didn't expect is that super sticky fluff is hanging on to all of those little beads. So I completely miss it. I'm not having to drink through goop. That was the second sip. I did go for a second sip, like I said I would. I would not have more than one of these. It's a little too rich, and it is kind of weird. Let's see what Oz thinks. Oz is gonna be pickier.
It looks gross. Oh no. I don't like peppermint. It tastes like a melted candy cane, that is all.
Which you don't like candy canes. It's a fun activity. I would never order this. I probably will never make this again in my life. Yeah, out of 10, I was thinking it would probably be a 2 or a 3. Presentation goes a long way. 5.2. Let's go with 5.2 on this one. Honestly, that's a compliment. It tastes like a candy cane, but I don't necessarily want that in my cocktail, especially when I go in for a sip and there's a wall of balls. There are some people that are gonna absolutely love that. In fact, clearly there are people that absolutely love it. Onto the sugar cookie version of this drink. Instead of the peppermint liqueur, we will want amaretto. I'm gonna switch up the cream liqueur just because some of the recipes call for Bailey's, some rum chata. I'm gonna use Bailey's for this one, and then that same cream. But first we have to prep our glass. I'm gonna serve this one in a coupe. I'm gonna do this alternate presentation. So we are just gonna put the vanilla frosting. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. It's just gonna make a big mess, but this kills me a little bit. Yeah, there, that's the stuff. I'm mixing up the sprinkles. These have little Christmas trees in there too. Gently get the sprinkles to stick onto our frosting. I don't wanna squish it. Like, I want it to look fluffy. So I'm trying to be careful. We gotta get on top. And we'll pop that in the freezer, and now we can build the drink. Once again, all equal parts. This one is interesting to me. This one I actually did more thinking about than the Candy Cane Martini because it's called a sugar cookie. And when you look at the ingredients, I think vanilla vodka is important because vanilla is an important flavor in an actual sugar cookie. But then the amaretto, I think that's an interesting move. And it works well with this sort of thing because you kind of get like baking notes, and then the Bailey's. So again, cream on cream. This looks like a spent piñata. All right, once again, I shall double strain. The trick is to not get it all over the frosting. There we go. It's a low wash line, if I'm gonna be nitpicky about my cocktail making right now. But because of all of that frosting, no one will know. Covers up any mistake. This is as cool as it gets, guys. Now we go in for a sip. Okay, this is a hard pass for me. Okay, man, this is not how you're supposed to drink cocktails. That's not right. I can't even taste the drink because there's a cake in between me and the liquid. You just have to make a little path for your mouth. Now I can taste it. It's a little too sweet. I like the Baileys actually. Baileys is kind of a quintessential holiday liqueur, so that works pretty well, I suppose. I don't know why we keep adding more cream on top of these cream liqueurs, but with the frosting, no way. You can't even balance it. It's pure sugar. But Oz, would you like to try this? All right, there you go. You have to drink it through the frosting.
Oh, seriously? Oh God. Oh no. That's too much.
Yeah, now try it without the frosting.
I prefer this to the...
Do you? I do like the Baileys. Yeah, I don't think of a sugar cookie. And the nose, it's just frosting. It's vanilla frosting. I would rather have little balls on the inside of my glass than a bunch of gloopy, gloppy frosting. So don't go with that garnish. That is ridiculous. Nobody needs that on their cocktail. And I deserve better, so I'm gonna give that a 4.8 out of 10, which is really close to a 5. If you round up, that's a 5. Hey, 5 is acceptable in some countries. So there's that. I will not be going in for another sip because I'm gonna show you a real drink. This is what I think a sugar cookie cocktail should be. It's a Sugar Cookie Nog. When I say Nog, that's an old style of drink with a whole egg, a little bit of cream. I really spent my time with this one. I'm taking the sugar cookie approach, meaning I'm wanting to recreate the flavors, the nostalgia, the feeling of a sugar cookie in a cocktail. So it's like drinking a sugar cookie. I want some bready notes. I want vanilla in the sugar cookie, a little bit of salt. There needs to be a brightness. So this was a real process. I made probably, I want to say 8 or 9 Nogs over the last couple days, but it was a fun challenge. To make my Sugar Cookie Nog, we will need Irish whiskey, vanilla liqueur, amaretto, half and half, an egg, salt, and have a lemon handy. Irish whiskey is the base because it is a softer whiskey. It doesn't overtake this drink. In fact, when you have it, you might not even realize you're drinking a whiskey cocktail. But it does offer some nice buttery, bready notes in the drink. Vanilla is a key ingredient in sugar cookies. Licor 43 is a Spanish vanilla liqueur, which includes all kinds of stuff. More than vanilla, but vanilla is the main flavor. But it is a soft vanilla, a very round vanilla. It's not like vanilla extract or vanilla vodka even, although I didn't want to use vanilla vodka. The amaretto, I'm just using a little bit. I'm not going for a strong almond flavor, but a little bit in there does kind of give the perception of a baked cookie. The half and half. So you can use cream if you'd like, but it's gonna mute a lot of the flavors, so I prefer half and half in this recipe. Whole egg, and the salt is really helpful. So let's build. Grab yourself a shaking tin, start with the egg, and I'm going to put it in the smaller cheater tin. 1 egg, all of it, except for the shell. And now in the big tin, we'll start with 2 ounces of Irish whiskey, 1 full ounce of the Licor 43, 1/4 ounce amaretto. And remember, if you're wanting to make these drinks, head over to Hob, House of Bitter Bear. We don't have vanilla vodka over there. Or rum chata, sorry. There's Baileys, you can pick up some Baileys. 1/2 ounce of half and half, and a pinch of salt. We're gonna give it a dry shake to incorporate everything. Yeah, don't be wussies about your dry shake. You wanna shake it good. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with snotty egg. You wanna end up with snotty egg? Nobody wants snotty egg. Now we can add ice and give it a wet shake. And double strain into a chilled cocktail glass. Look at that, even looks like a sugar cookie on every last bit of this. Spread some lemon oil across the top, keep it bright. What do you think? So now the question is, how do you garnish such a beautiful thing? It looks like a sugar cookie. A little sprinkle of sugar on there if you wanted. I don't have any right here. some Demerara sugar. In the spirit of the other cocktails, I'm gonna add a little bling to this. Just a touch of edible glitter. Little solid gold right on top. Another good option, gold leaf, if you can do it. If you can splurge and get yourself some gold leaf, a pinch of cinnamon would be really good on there as well. And there we have, ladies and gentlemen, the Sugar Cookie Nog. Cheers. Yeah, now that's a cookie cocktail I can get behind. You definitely get the vanilla, but it is a very like round flavor. The whiskey is there to kind of give it a backbone, but it's not an over the top. I think if you were to use bourbon, that would be good, but you'd definitely notice it a little bit more. The Irish whiskey is very soft, very subtle. The lemon keeps it light without it being sour or too lemony. It's more about that vanilla, and then the amaretto just supports it. And of course the texture is creamy, what you'd expect with a nog. I think it's great. I really, really struggled with this one, but it was well worth the effort. Is it anything like the Sugar Cookie Martini? No, not really. It really isn't, but it's really hard to judge this fairly with all this stuff on it. Oz, would you care to try the Sugar Cookie Nog?
Sure. Oh, it's soft. It's much more delicate.
If you have any other cocktails that you would like me to fix, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you, Aura Frames, for sponsoring today's film. Don't forget your merch, sign up for the newsletter, get out of here. I love you. Happy holidays. See you next time. Cheers.
Stay away from that old viper man. Don't you take that fruit he's holding in his hand.